We're back to setup. Welcome to I Am Woke. I'm your host, Stormy, also known as Emelina. Okay. We will set the camera up. All will be well. All right, you guys. I'm going to tell you right where I'm at so I don't have to skip over my emotional processing, and we will go into the energy vibes for this week coming up. We will just jump right in. I'm in like a space. I was thinking about not shooting this video, and then I realized my timing, that I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it the next couple days, and the Akashic records were like, do it now and fill them in the gaps on where you're at, and it's going to stream through and be the information that is needed. So that's where I'm at. That's where we're going. I am happy to have you here with me though. All of you that jump in live, all of you that I see that see this video after, thank you. I appreciate your love, your views, your attention, your support. Remember to like the video, tap the bell for notifications, subscribe if you're new. I post on personal and spiritual development. My name is Stormy. I'm a psychic medium, a shaman, a high performance coach, everything very magical that can help you, help to facilitate pulling your highest potential out of you so that you can become who you are meant to become in this world. Dylan, did you change your handle name? Yes, okay. Soul Year, amazing. Soul Year 7. Okay, got it. Okay, let me think about what I want to say. I'm a little slower today. Again, I'm a little emotional, so we're just gonna like kind of go with my roller coaster here. Tomorrow's the equinox, all right? I have a free and or donation based ceremony tomorrow that I'm doing at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. If you want to join, there's a link down below where you can sign up. You can attend for free. I'd really like you guys there. If you do appreciate me, love me, or want to support my content and all that I do, there are links below where you can send a donation via PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. And I would appreciate any or all of those things, and we'll send you a thank you email. So that's what I've got there. Also, Summer Quantum Breakthrough, I still have open. That is my current one-to-one mentorship program where I bring you through a quantum identity shift to help you step into your highest potential in between 8 to 16 weeks, depending on which coaching container feels the best for you. It includes Akashic Records readings. It includes coaching with me. It is very focused, and it's vision focused and intention focused on really helping you to break through to the next level. It's very exciting. I'm very happy to do it. If you are interested in that, I will leave my email in the description below. Just send me an email. I will send you all the details for that package, and we can see if that's a right fit for you. Okay. Do I have any other housekeeping things? I think that's it. I feel so out of my, like outside of my body, uncomfortable in my body right now. So that's what we're gonna start. This week, we're leading up to another eclipse the first week of October. It's not this week, it's the following week. I'm going to cover this week, but we are leading up to another eclipse. I believe it's a solar eclipse, and it's in Libra, so it's going to be relationship based. So relationships with people, with your style, with your creativity, with your money. Libras love money, Libras love style, Libras love luxury. We're like one of the most creative signs. I say we because I'm a Libra. What else? Very relationship focused, very balanced. This is coming through, so I'm just gonna say it. I'm like, listen, if a Libra yells at you, or you get like flack from a Libra, you probably deserve it. We're like the sweetest, kindest people. And I've been having to lay it down with people, and I'm like, you deserve it. Like, you get, like, literally, I'm the sweetest. And I've been having to be, I won't say mean. It's not mean, I'm just, I'm annoyed. me channel and figure out where they want to take us in a direction here. I might pull a few cards. I'm going to center in and focus in on myself here. The first thing I would say is be very gentle with yourself this week and respect your humanity, because I'm in a vulnerable space in this video right now with you guys because I'm feeling very, very human. I don't feel vulnerable, like weird or anything. I'm just more like, oh, this needed to get done. I have to show up the way that I am. And the way that spirit works through me is that if I'm showing up this way, oh, my stomach hurts so much too. If I'm showing up this way, it's literally in service. Like it is the energy that needs to be communicated. Otherwise, spirit would redirect me to shoot at a different time. And they told me to shoot. So we're here. I'm going to pull a card. I feel like I'm going to cry. So I don't want to say it's going to be a tough week, but emotionally strenuous. Rearranging relationships, looking at old wounding, childhood wounding patterns, abandonment, neglect issues, reprogramming them, looking at them, accepting the healing, letting go. Let's break down these two cards, all right? Okay, so the first one is divine guidance. We got a few things going on here. The frog. Frogs are healing. They're showing me the poisonous frog. So like whether it's Cambo or any of the other frog medicines, it is about purging the body. There is a body focus here, specifically with the frog, because they're telling me Cambo as an example for me to use for you guys. So for those of you that don't know, Cambo is a frog poison that I can't remember, I posted this on Instagram at some point, but they make gate entries on your arm. I did this a couple years ago, and they put the poison into your arm, and it makes your body purge, so you throw up a lot. It's a body cleanse. So this is telling me that your emotional system and the cellular memory of your body is going to be releasing over the next 7 to 10 days, moving into the next eclipse. Old karmic patterns, all right? Don't hold on to them. That was the next card that came out, and then I'm going to explain more of the imagery that's going on here, is let go. Don't hold on to them. Don't cling to the emotions. Don't make them mean anything. Just kind of let it purge itself out of your body. They're showing me the Cambo, like when you're throwing up on Cambo, you're not like, oh, what is this emotion? You're just like, get it out of my body. Like, just get it out. It comes with a lot of heat, which literally I felt before I came on stream. There was like this flush of heat through my body. All right, so I mean, this is the way, they're telling me 10 days up to the next eclipse is like a full body purge. So any lower vibrational cellular patterns, lower vibrational entity energies, lower vibrational wounding patterns, I'll say, in your subconscious mind that are manifested through the body are going to start making their way out. Excuse me. If I were you guys, I would start juicing this week. I would get like a carrot juice or a green juice every day. That's just going to help give your body some of the nutrients it needs. Fuel up on your trace minerals. Drink a lot of water. Something I will say on that, depending on where you are in the country, my guides won't let me drink Los Angeles tap water anymore. I got yelled at, not really yelled at, but spirit made it real clear for me. And so I'm drinking spring water. That might be something you might want to do for the next week, 10 days, drink spring water and see how it affects your body. It actually can help clear and cleanse your body, because the water, depending on where you live, well, everywhere that you live, it's carrying the collective program, the energy subcurrents of the collective of that area, right? So when you can pause and get onto spring water, especially if you can literally get spring water. I grew up in upstate New York, and I used to get spring water every week. I would go into the springs and get them. Then it gives your body a break from the collective program so that you can actually release and reset and come back into divine guidance with spirit. So you might want to take a water break, only if you have that available. Now, what's also being shown to me is the dragonfly, which is being able to transform mental thought patterns. It's releasing toxic mental patterns. I think we're going into Libra season tomorrow. or today or the day after. But we're entering an air season, okay? So it's more mental focused. So there's like an inspection on the healing mentally and the relationship between what you think and what you feel at the body level. So if you're thinking some things that are negative, just be really mindful of yourself this next week, because you'll feel it in your body. If you're being really negative mentally, you'll be like, if you center into your body, I don't know, you'll just start getting pain somewhere. Like, have I been negative today? Whatever, I'll get into this, okay? I'm very like ornery. And my stomach hurts. And I'm like, are those things related? Like, yes, very much so. I've been fuming all day and my stomach really hurts. So when you're thinking in a specific toxic pattern, I'm not saying mine is toxic, but I am certainly releasing toxicity. It also manifests in the body, and there's a mind-body connection, which is also a spiritual connection. It's all connected through the divine. The divine is showing you mentally, and there is an emotional effect, but they're specifically focused on the body. How you're mentally communicating to your body and how your body is communicating to you to release mental thought processes, patterns, people. Don't be surprised if you need to like give some exits. They're showing me like going to an amusement park and getting tickets that say you're no longer available for this ride. Like, you do not meet the height requirement. You guys, this is the Libra eclipse coming. I'm sorry, you don't meet the height requirement for this ride called Stormy, aka Emelina. So here's your lottery ticket to leave my amusement park. That's the way that they're showing it. So you're going to be making some quick exit paths for people to leave your life. Also very typical in Libra season. A lot of you also may be coming into a relationship. That is also always a Libra season thing. I don't know where else to go with that. I don't really want to get into it actually, but there's just going to be a changeover. Watch your interactions with people. The thing about Librans, Libra season, is that there's a real focus on the balance, okay? The Librans are the judge that is blindfolded, and they hold the scales. The scales are light and dark, shadow and light, opposites, polarities, and the Libra is always walking down the center path in between the two polarities. So they're occupying the state of both from the ability to weigh and understand options. This is about walking into reciprocity. You're going to have the lens. Again, this is a very Libran concept. You're going to have the lens in every single relationship in your life and say, how much am I giving? How much am I taking? How much am I receiving? How much are other people giving? Are these things equal or not? And if they're not, there's really a mental reinspection process, and perhaps you booting some people out of your life and giving them a ticket to the, you're not tall enough to reach this ride. Get out. like it's a hazard for you. You're about to go on the roller coaster. That is me. And you're just not tall enough. You're going to fall out of the seat. So we're telling you to leave now. Today's a saucy spirit day. The let go card, there is the crab. So that is the water element. These are your emotions. There's a blossoming, there's an opening that's telling me, like the two flowers, it's telling me to tap into your softer feminine side and give, regardless of whether you're masculine or feminine, and give the feminine side of yourself the room to blossom, to trust, to expand, which means you may need to set some very healthy boundaries, but the boundaries aren't coming first, the purging is coming first. The healing, the body healing. What does our heart most need to know this week, the collective level? Everything. Okay. Grounding. Release. This is actually showing me too, like, release the anchors to attachments, people, concepts, ideas, places that make you cranky, ornery, upset. That is a way to ground by getting into your body through communication is what I'm being told. Don't be afraid to speak your mind in whatever needs to be spoken, regardless of whatever the reaction will be from other people. Like, the reaction's not your responsibility. You're stepping into a position of leadership that really reinforces what I just said. Speak your goddamn mind. Like, do not hold back. Say what needs to be said. I trust you guys to do it with tact. And not that I trust you, like spirit trusts you. You should trust your own connection with spirit. Say the things that need to be said. The flower of life is jumping out to me on here. You need to trust the opening of your throat chakra, and trust that you are in the process of healing the relationship between what you think, how you feel, how it manifests in your body, and then your relationship between yourself and the outside world, which is frequently manifested through humans. Excuse me. And then embrace change. Was it the last video? I think it was the last video that I was like, change or be changed against your will. The thing about the chameleon, this is funny because like people used to, my nickname was Chemi Lion growing up. The thing about the chameleon, what's beautiful is that it's ever changing. What's tough is when it's changing to try to fit in with an environment that it doesn't fit in with. And the challenge that I'm seeing with this card coming up for this week is that, can you change for spirit? Can you change under your divine guidance based in who you are to become? So you're mimicking the environment of your larger spiritual awareness, your higher potential, as opposed to changing to meet everybody else's needs in front of you, which is a trauma response. I'm going to ask a little bit about the chameleon. You guys, this one's one of my spirit animals. I used to paint chameleons. One of my first clients in upstate New York he bought all of my chameleon paintings. His kids bought them for him too. They're very cute. Okay, tell me a little bit about the chameleon. What do we need to know there? The aspect of change that they're bringing in right now is it's less about fitting in and it's more about standing out. All right, so the element of change on this card is important, but what they're showing me is do the opposite of what the chameleon does and actually just stand up, start leading like this tiger. Say what needs to be said. When you do say what needs to be said, there is a huge degree and element of healing that came into the divine guidance card, because you're healing yourself through your throat chakra, what actually needs to be said, and you're healing the other people as well, because you're whether or not it looks like it's a whole nother thing, but you're allowing them to have their response. You're allowing them to have their reaction. You're holding space for whatever it is that they're going to move through in response to you speaking your truth, you speaking up, you saying what needs to be said. Like, spirit's going to be moving through your body. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the mic. I don't know if that's registering, but also literally, I was just hitting the mic. It's like I can feel it in my throat. There might be some like interference where it's going to feel like, oh, should I say that? I don't know. How are they going to respond? It doesn't matter how they respond. And now they're telling me to bring it up. Let's talk about predators, y'all. I don't know if you saw my last post, but if I have to like throw down on one more man that is so effing inappropriate with me, like sexual harassment is so not okay. I'm going to go into this because this is where they're directing me. Okay. I set a number of boundaries today with men because today was the day to handle it. I generally put it off until I feel like handling it, and then I handle them in batches. And this morning and I always set them kindly. I'm like, I'm not interested. I need this boundary set. You are like, everyone knows how energetically sensitive I am. I don't hold back my job and my career and stuff. Everyone that I meet. And I can feel when men are asking me for sexual energy, or they're acting in a place of being a sexual predator, or they are demanding sexual energy from me without saying it. Some of them do say it, but it's like a subtle energy current that latches into, and this happens with all women, by the way, and this is why you need to tell men when you're not interested and make it very, very clear. Yes is yes, no is no. And if I say no, it means no. In whatever way works for you to express that, because when you don't say no and they continually send this energy, and it happens all the time. This isn't just a me thing. It's just like most women just don't realize it's happening, or it's subconscious, or they're trying to ignore it. What happens when men do this is they actually create a hook subconsciously into the energetic field of the sacral chakra of the woman. And then they're actually able to literally steal energy out of the woman's sacral chakra unless she makes a hard boundary and says no. And if you say no, they can't override your free will. And then that would be considered a spiritual rape. And then there are energetic consequences that God takes care of for us, but you have to say no. So anyway, girl handled some things this morning. Proud of myself, easy. I might make a course on this because I feel like God has put me through trial after trial after trial for decades to be able to identify predators and their tactics and manipulation tactics and the whole 9 yards, and I could probably teach it very well. Anyway, I set a boundary, and this human overstepped the boundary and did something anyway. And I went, oh, hell no, you don't. The point of me telling you all of this is that when I went to go set the boundary, I don't know if this dude's unhinged, he might be. Like, you never know. And I was like, well, should I set this boundary, or should I go into my more people-pleasy state that's a little more comfortable for me and just like let it ride under the surface? And for someone like me that's as energetically attuned and sensitive, for me to be able to do this work, I can't allow these subtle energy contracts in the background. They can't happen. And I know how much pain that causes me and my community, not that I can't channel, but it creates a lot of interference for me, and it literally steals a certain portion of my energy, and then I have to go reproduce that energy. It puts me in a state of burnout. It's really shitty. I'll explain it at some point in depth because I know a lot of women go through it, just don't know how to identify it. I tend to be a hyper generator of energy because I'm used to so much leaving. So anyway, because I know that pain, hi Rainey, yes, please be bold saying no and watch people's reactions. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, he might be a little unhinged, I'm not sure, because the thing about men, what I will say, the ones that tend to throw me for a loop the most are the ones that are sweet up front. They're some level of covert narcissist is generally what I would say. They tend to be overly nice up front, and it's not that they're actually nice, it's that they're giving from the place of expecting something in return, and they're silent about it, and they wait until later, and there's an expectation. Anyway, so this was one of those nice guys. So I had a suspicion. and here's what happened without going into detail. I'm so uncomfortable right now. I just want to cry. Also, you guys, like, just freaking send me some love, because like this was actually, like, I dealt with 3 of them today, and it's just like, it's a lot for me. Like, it's a lot. I'm going to go into this in a few ways because I think this has a lot to do with the themes for Libra season. Whether it's a man or whether you're dealing with somebody just toxic, just somebody toxic in your life that you're going to set boundaries with. It's like, the more spiritual you get, the more beautiful you become, the more you glow, the more attractive you are. The more people feel entitled to rape your energy. I'm not using that term to cause like a disturbance. I'm using it as a realistic expectation of what happens. It's a stealing, it's a siphoning, it's a vampirism that happens to the energy field. And it's why a lot of women will, I don't know that I could talk to this about men yet, but I'll say specifically for women, it's why a lot of women subconsciously will, and this is no discredit to this, because I'll go into this in more streams at some point, but will either like gain a lot of weight in or out of relationships, or they'll kind of just like naturally, subconsciously make themselves less attractive. I have no ill against any of this. Like, I have literally been in these positions, which is why I can speak to it. The reason why we do that as women is because, and this is what I've been finding out, the more I glow, the more beautiful I become, the more I'm like, I just am beautiful, and I'm embracing that about myself. Like, every week, I'm just glowing and glowing and glowing. I have to deal with, and a lot of women know this, but like now I'm dealing with the whole process of seeing it from the context of me being so hyper aware, is like, the more beautiful you are, the more a lot of men just feel entitled to take that from you. Women are this way as well. And that's also something I have been learning that I am also grieving, which is like, women get really jealous of other women and then try to take them down and hurt them, because they feel the competition of, I don't even know how to describe it, whether it's with men or the competition of attraction, of money, receiving resource. It's insane. Let me ask Spirit where they want me to go with this. It's just like, because attraction has to do with your spiritual glow. Okay, so the more vibrant you become, the more you heal your thoughts in relationship to your body, the more beautiful you become, quite literally. And you could do very little, your face will start to glow. Your hair will kind of change. People will be like, oh, you look like you're glowing. Like that, and you could change nothing about your appearance. Like, I don't even know right now. I'm like, I got some sort of glow, but how much have I changed? I'm like, not that much. The most I did, which I'm gonna show you guys because I just need like a respite for my energy for a second. I did my nails. I don't even know if you can see them. They're butterflies. They're so cute. I have butterflies on all my nails. Anyway, that's my attractiveness this week. And this is for men as well. The more that you glow, the more you get challenged for your like attractiveness. And I'm using, Spirit uses attractiveness and like spiritual radiance as the same for me because they're so related. The more spiritual you are, generally speaking, your energy becomes very attractive. And that is generally perceived as a physical attraction, which is generally perceived as a threat to people that can't keep up with your level of spiritual energy. If they feel triggered, you trigger their shadow by any level of means, which God knows we do when we're shining a lot of light. Then they project that on you, and then they start to go into control mechanisms, punishment mechanisms, manipulation. It's all very natural. Isn't that weird? It's very natural. It's just like so human. No big deal. Just psychological manipulation because you're pretty. No big deal. Like, what? Okay. This was a long story. Thank you for bearing with me. For me to come back to saying with the men that I set boundaries with earlier, one of them specifically, I was like, he might not respond well to this. And I was like, well, do I change what I'm gonna say? And I was like, no, I don't. I say what needs to be said. I say what I need to say because I know that I'm very healthy about my boundaries. I know that I'm very loving with how I set them. I'm very transparent with people. I'll be like, I don't like this specific behavior. This is leading me to this. So I'm gonna have to block you. I didn't say that, but it's like, that's where it was going. So anyway, what I love to, some of the women need to hear this. Some of the things I say to men is like, you can stop this behavior. I have your phone number. I will reach out to you when or if I feel that feels right for me. But at this time, I need to focus on me, and this is absolutely not a priority for me. I said some version of that today. I tell people that they have been deprioritized in a kind way. Because otherwise, what happens if you leave room for ambiguity in any relationship, that ambiguity is just taken. Like people just misinterpret it. And then come back and be like, I thought you meant that. And it's like, oh my gosh, how many times do I have to tell you to get out of here? Like, I can only ignore a text so many times, and then it's still eating away at my energy, so then I have to be direct. Some of you are going to be, what they're telling me, and this card's coming up too. I'll explain this. What they're telling me is that you're going to start to become aware of that process that I'm speaking about right now, where you realize you can only ignore something for so long that ignoring it doesn't make the problem go away. And it depends on the subtle subconscious interaction. So what people are thinking about you during the day, these little micro relationships, what they want, what they're not speaking, with their desires, how healthy they are or not. Like with this guy, I was like, I can't control his response, but I still need to show up the way that I need to show up. And he responded well and then did something very aggressive, passive aggressive, and then aggressive. And I went, oh, I wasn't expecting that, but that was enough of a red flag for me. You are blocked. I gave you the warning. You didn't respect it. So that, I mean, that's like the next step for me. But anyway, you're going to be shown the understanding of the relationships, like when you ignore something or when something's not feeling right, a sort of communication you receive from someone, whether it's a text. I'll give you guys another example. For the single women, this might be helpful. So I had another person who for months has been texting me like, I don't know, once every 5 to 8 days, and I would just ignore them, you guys. I would just ignore the text because we were like, this is not compatible. This is not gonna be a thing. So he's like, oh, I was like, we could be friends, but when women say we can be friends, it's like, I was like, we could be acquaintances. And when women say it, we mean we're not interested in anything. And I very clearly said to him I was not interested in anything. And he continued to, 4 to 5 days, 6 days, was texting me like every 6 days. I'm like, you're still looking to try to get something here. And I've already very clearly stated that this is incompatible. I don't want it, etc. So then I started ignoring the messages, which I think is fine for a period of time. And then it kept happening, but the length would increase. So it'd be like, oh, you go 2 weeks and then text me, whatever. It's been months of this and he has not stopped. And he texted me a couple days ago, like, hey, like just checking in. And I haven't led this person on. So I haven't, like, whenever they text me, I'm not like, hey, how are you? I'm just like, they're like, how are you? I'm like, good. like we're like single word answers. I don't know how you guys communicate or text, but I communicate a lot in exactly what I say. I'm very specific about what I say and don't say. And I communicate in direct communication as well as subcontext, very intentionally. And anyway, dude wasn't getting the hints. So I checked in with my guides today because I was like, why does this keep happening? And my guides were like, subconsciously, you need, like, he still thinks that this is an option. When men hear that it's friendship, they hear yes to casual, let me keep chasing her. And I was like, well, this needs to stop. And they're like, then you need to say something very clearly. So I was very polite about that. But like, you need to set the boundaries and tell people whether it's dating, whether it's friendships. I did this with a friendship a couple weeks ago as well. I've been in a lot of pain, you guys, in relationships. I'm just like a nightmare actually right now in relationships. I can't. That's me being transparent. I know that's also happening in and around. I know that it's like popular as far as the trend of energy right now is if you're really stepping into your higher potential and doing a lot of light work, you're not gonna be getting along with everyone right now. There is a divine rearranging of relationships. For those of you that are exiting relationships, I know, which is no threat to those of you in long-term relationships. Beautiful, keep it, you're good, okay? Only take what resonates, leave the rest. I have been seeing an insane amount of people breaking up. Like, so, I mean, like, long-term shit. So it's like, let what needs to go. Be honest and transparent with your relationships. Your attention is going to be brought to the subtle dynamics of what is being exchanged or asked that is not being vocalized in all of your relationships. And it's up to you to be your own guardian and the Cobra was coming up, to watch and to learn from the interaction. So Cobras are like, they're watching, right? They're very observant. This is the teacher card. This is the student card. This is the long-term learning card. I'm going to have spirit reel this in a sec. I know that this is of service in the state that I'm in, but I'm like, Spirit, where, like, can you just bring all of my energy together in one core theme? Yes. What I just heard is yes. Move forward, prioritize yourself, tell everyone that is not vibing with you to GTFO. And do it Libra style, okay? So do it with tact. They're telling me to explain Libras. It's like, here's the thing about Libras. Everything that's said and unsaid is intentional. We are very, very good communicators. Libras will not tell you to your face generally when they don't like you. They will leave you the space to fuck it all up. Watch you do it, observe you doing it, allow you to fuck up the relationship, and then we just go, I think it's time for me to hang up the phone. It's like very Libra. I saw a meme recently that was like, it was somebody on the phone, like talking to a Libra, right? Like somebody's like disrespecting a Libra on the phone, and they're just like, they're like somebody yelling on the phone, right? And they're like, click. And I was like, oh, I do that. I was like, I do that. If somebody's yelling or screaming at me on the phone, I literally go, I'm sorry. I don't have to take this. End call. Like, don't ever do that to me again. I'll make it real obvious for you. The point is, hold on. Let's break down the Libra archetype again. It's so present. Be intentional about what you're communicating. You don't have to overtly state things in a really direct way. You can be, I don't want to call it passive, but there's a lot of subcontext in communication. So if you know what your intentions are to communicate, you can communicate that subcontext with the things that you say or don't say on purpose, and allow people to dig their graves and allow them to lay in it. As a double Libra, I have a Libra moon as well. So, I'm typically, I would say, I've been shifting my energy a lot over the last few years, but typically I would say I'm like hyper relationship focused of a person. I think I am, just the way that I handle all of my relationships and people in my life. So what is, you just I don't know, Libras just let people do their shit. We're always watching. People are like, they think Libras are, this happens a lot. A lot of other signs think Libras are either dumb or they're not paying attention, because Libras are quiet a lot, or we're very loud. It's like one of the two. Like, we're very extra. We can come off like fire signs. We can come off very like, oh my gosh. I love like little Libra children too, with like the big sunglasses, which is like, what's up? I've entered the room. The party can start now. Libras are either super extra and super loud, or they're just like hyper attentive, watching every fucking thing you do and making note. You will not get one past a Libra. Like, they are taking notes. Now, the thing about Libras, and they're telling me to tell you this, to take this on over the next couple of weeks, is that Libras don't we don't trip people. So if someone's being an asshole, like, I'm not like making them do something or tricking them into screwing something up. What Libras do is like, we're very hands off. Like, we just let people fuck their lives up, or we let people fuck up the relationship with us, and we won't do anything about it. Like, it's very Queen of Swords energy. You're just like, what else are you gonna do? Oh, it was so interesting. Oh, no, I'm not gonna tell you what I think about it yet. I'm just, oh, snap, you did that? Wow, I'm like taking fucking notes. And they're running around like throwing their shit fit, whatever these people are doing. It happens all the time to me. And then they come back and they're like, oh yeah, we can be friends now. I'm like, friends? I was taking notes. You thought I was ignoring you. I was watching everything. And I'm highly aware. I just wanted to see how far you were going to take it, because it's entertainment for me. So I didn't tell you. So I let you dig your grave, and then I let you lie down in it. And now I'm going to walk away. This is over. I think I just told you guys how I have disintegrated every toxic relationship in my life. I is exactly what I've done. I have never told anyone that. I think it's hilarious walking through it on stream. But you'll find that that is a Libra MO. Like that's how we handle conflict. I'm like, keep going. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. That one was funny. Oh, you thought you were gonna come back. No. Get out of here. And then these people are embarrassed because they come back and they're like, oh, you didn't notice all that. No, we're good. And I'm like, we're good? Are you kidding me? You neglected me, you ignored me, you came back, then you withdrew your love from me on purpose. Now you're telling me that you're loving me unconditionally and that I need to keep you in my life. But what you just did was real toxic. Like, we're taking a fucking break, B. Like, no, this is not a friendship right now. You need to regroup. Get out. Go figure it out. I trust you to figure it out with God. So it will be figured out by the universe, like it is being rearranged, and whenever it comes back to me, it will have been transformed. Like, I'm not getting in the middle of it. By the time it comes back, it better be transformed, okay? The fish was right behind it, which is like codependent relationships, all right? So that's the other thing I need to say about Libras. Your attention will be brought to codependency. A Libra archetypal pattern is codependency. That's why I don't date Libras anymore, by the way. Libra relationships are like, oh my God, like freaking Coda called and said, come back. Maybe I'll do a Libra rant. This is becoming a cathartic stream for me. I'm not usually like that, but I appreciate you guys being here with me. Okay. This is the bat. The bat is happy endings, closure to big karmic cycles. And based on what I was just saying, the stream of consciousness is closure to codependency cycles. There's going to be a lot of attention on codependency and on how you change yourself to fit in with relationships that you don't belong in. This chameleon archetype, like, where are you masking yourself to fit in with places that you should not be trying to fit into? You really should be standing out. You should be leading. They're just really breaking down more Libra stuff for me. This is the easiest way for me to describe what's going on over the next 10 days. How do I explain this? Masking approval. Libras are approval seekers. Like, we can really mask to try to fit in. Libras are like the sweetest, like, how would I call this as a big archetype? People pleasy. We like to host. We like people to be happy around us. We're great communicators. We love facilitating communication. We'll do anything for everyone to feel good. I want, like, it's hosting energy. It's like, you're gonna feel great when you're around me. You're gonna want to come back to me. You're just gonna vibe. Like Libras are generally really good at raising the vibe in a room. Really great at making everyone feel like they're heard, loved, accepted. Fantastic with facilitating communication. Those skills are all wonderful, are ways of chameleonizing. I don't know if that's a word, but trying to fit yourself into a crowd when really your job right now. Oh, that's why they're bringing up the bat with the moon, because the moon is right here. So the next new moon really has to do with standing out. So the way that I'm going to explain this is that the North Node and the South Node of the collective right now, the North Node is in Aries and the South Node is in Libra. We've been in this cycle for about a year. It's about to end, I believe. But with a Libra eclipse, it's re-triggering the North Node and the South Node, which are the karmic nodes of fate for the collective. So these also match my personal birth chart, so it's been a doozy. But the North Node being in Aries for the collective is that the highest states of evolution are tapping into these leadership traits. The Aries warrior, not for the sake of war. If we were to compare them, there's like, is it Aries, Mars and Athena? I don't know if I'm going Roman versus Greek. But Athena is the goddess of war, and she knows the difference between when to war and when not to war, whereas the other one, Aries or Mars, just wars for the sake of war. It's about stepping into your personal identity, your personal leadership, becoming independent, not being codependent. I don't know if you guys have met Aries. They're generally not codependent. They don't give a flying fuck about what other people think about them. They start fires just to watch shit burn. I've got a lot of Aries friends. God loves a good Aries. But like right now, those are the evolutionary traits that the collective is in the process of trying to embody to grow. The South Node is in Libra, which is what's being triggered during this eclipse, which is why there's this karmic ending happening, is because it matches the South Node in Libra in astrology right now for the collective. The South Node are where you fall. They're the patterns that are keeping you stuck. And the South Node in Libra is the heaviest level of codependency you could possibly imagine. It is about fitting in. It is about people pleasing. It's all the low vibrational frequency traits that come with the archetype of Libra. Now I understand is why they've been walking through all of the archetypal patterns of Libra. So let me tell them to you, okay? What will that look like? It will look like passive-aggressive behavior. It will look like codependency. It will look like people-pleasing. It will look like changing to meet the environment instead of changing for yourself to jump into your highest standards. It's changing to meet everybody else's standards. It's diluting yourself. It's allowing disrespect to eat at your character to the point where you lower your standards. It's not speaking your needs. It is being meek and quiet. It's tempering yourself to the room. What else? Staying in relationships too long that don't serve you. Not investing in, I'd say new relationships, but it's really independence. It's independence. That's where the collective growth is right now at the collective level. The collective evolutionary traits are in Aries. So what this moon is going to be triggering are new beginnings in relationships, new beginnings in creating new standards for yourself and how you act around people when you know that you need to say something or that something's being triggered or you need to speak a truth or no, you don't want to go out to dinner with them. So instead of saying like, oh, like, yeah, I'm blah, 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 and making up some bullshit excuse to temper yourself, why not just say like, actually, I'm just not interested. Like literally be as clear as you can. It's about saying yes when you mean yes, no when you mean no. Speaking the truth. There's no need to lie. There's no need to temper yourself. People will get triggered by you. You know, to my example that I said earlier in the stream, other people's responses are none of your business. And you do have to trust your connection to yourself and to source to know that you are safe in expressing yourself. Because obviously some people are in dangerous situations. I've been in them in the past as well. And that they're triggering it up for me to remember. It's like the reason why we shut down our ability to speak truth is because at some point we spoke truth and then it became dangerous. So you do need to trust yourself as an adult that you are safe. Trust your spiritual connection. And I know I slammed the archangels the other day, but like this is a good time to bring in some archangels into your communication. Those of you that are familiar with the violet flame of transmutation, when you're in communication with people like this, you can bring in the violet flame, sit yourself and the other person mentally in the violet flame while you're having that communication so that it can actually like change the energy up for the two of you. That could be really healing as well to help create that level of safety. There's also, well, I don't want to get into that. Let me think. They are saying Archangel Michael, he's happy to come in and help you guys facilitate the communication that needs to be said while remaining safe. Where else do we need to go with that? – I'm going to pull a couple of these cards, and then I want to read through your comments. What are we working through on the... Let's look at the higher vibrational frequency. What can we look forward to over the next week? Besides stepping into leadership and personal relationships. All right. All right. What can we look forward to? The Mystic and God. Okay. So what you can look forward to is becoming your own channel of your highest self, your highest potential, your higher power, God source intelligence coming through you. You are a channel of the divine naturally when you are authentically you. And that is, if you were to think about the Libra scales of balance, it's like the woman in the center that is the channel of source holding the polarities, then speaking what needs to be said. So trust your body, trust your heart, trust the subcontext, trust your observational skills, trust what needs to be said in any moment, and allow it to be said with you holding your own space for your own spiritual channel, which is your own authenticity. Trusting your own personal leadership. There will be some fear around like, oh, what if I say that? Will this relationship crumble? Oh, will that scare them? Oh, will that piss them off? What will the response be? And you just have to, you have to trust. You have to trust spirit. You have to trust your own instincts and begin to work that process of self-trust, and say the things that need to be said. There are consequences, but you know, you might lose some people. People might need to have rearrangements of your social contracts with them. But you know what's worse? If you don't say those things, you are demeaning your own value. You are removing your ability to trust yourself and your own spiritual connection because you're being led to say something or do something and you're not saying it or doing it, which is to deny your own connection, which is to deny your power, which is to devalue yourself, to disrespect yourself and your spiritual connection, which is to remove a certain amount of it from you so you're not going to be given access to it next time. Source meets us in the power we can hold in our body, which is why it's so important at this time to pay attention to your body, to allow the healing of the body. Again, check into some juices, you guys. Like, I would say eat healthier, but even that might be stressful for some people. Like, drink a celery juice every morning. It can be that simple. It doesn't need to be crazy. The other card that came out was Networker. So this says enhances unity through the sharing of information. Okay, so practicing this state of channeled awareness, the self-trust, will come through in like random conversations for you. So you at a coffee shop bumping into someone and then just saying what needs to be said. You guys don't have to be psychic to like be accurate. Like spirit is moving through everyone at all times. So as long as you are present, authentic with yourself, you'll say what needs to be said at the right time. And essentially that's how spirit is testing you. It's going to be testing you through the information that comes to you when you're in front of other people. They're also saying plant yourself in environments where you are around other people because you're not going to understand your own social contracts, which are how you agree to act and be in this world, which are set in early childhood. But a lot of us as adults are just like going from one box to another box, like the car, the home, to work, to the car, to home, to the, I don't know, concrete 4 people we interact with on a regular basis, you know, and it's like branch outside of that, because if you're stuck in your habitual patterns, you're not going to see actually how you think about yourself, how you deal with conflict, what your default patterns are in your subconscious. Whereas if you place yourself in environments that are new, around new people, networking, they're showing happy hours. I don't always say to do things like that, but you know, they are showing that. So like go to a happy hour, go meet some people. Like it's like, you'll see quickly what your own social agreements are, How comfortable are you in a room of people? How not comfortable are you? They're literally showing me networking. I used to do so much business networking. What sort of person are you in the room? And how do you shift in and out of it? So like they're showing me when I was like in my early 20s, especially, I did so much young professional mixers. They were so uncomfortable. So like they're showing me how I broke down changing my social contracts with people. So typically I would be the person that would like stand in the back of the room and just like observe and let people come to me. I had to become the sort of person that would go into the room and then go, okay, that standing in the back corner is not working for me anymore. Not only is it awkward, it's just not getting me what I want. I need to get a certain amount of business. I was running a marketing agency. So I would go in, I would have a goal. I would have my sales pitch down, my elevator pitch. I had sales coaches. I was very good at it. And I would go into the room and I'd be like, I'm going to get 10 business cards from people that I'd like to follow up with. I would pre-select it. When I got into the room, I would scan for the vibe and I'd be like, that one, that, I'm gonna go talk to that person, that person, that person, that person, that person, whatever. So I would go in and then I would softly like enter either a group dynamic. And you know, actually they're showing me a lot of what I'll do. I don't like this actually about myself, is that I won't speak up. Like I'll sit back and wait for somebody to give me permission to speak or pay attention to me. And I actually don't like that pattern in myself. So this is where you guys are gonna start to see when you're in like bigger groups of people, like how you handle group social dynamics and how you assert yourself and your will and how you communicate. So even me identifying that pattern, I'm like, oh, right, I don't like that I do that. I'm like, okay, so what would I do? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't look for permission to speak. I would just speak. Or I would make myself known in the room. The first thing that you can do is put on an energy or take on an energy inside of yourself. So when you walk into the room, it's like, and there's a difference between doing this between ego versus like your actual confidence within yourself. But it's like, I am a worthy person in this room. Like I am the most important person in this room. But if you enter the room assuming that you're highly valuable, you will command energy in a very different way than if you walk in like, oh, I don't know if I should be here. I don't know if there's anything good here for me. It totally changes your behaviors and what you attract. So again, they're opening up the networking. Place yourself in environments with lots of people just to perceive and observe yourself and what you will or won't do. Because that will show you your social contracts. Are you shy or are you bold? I don't know where else to take it from there. How shy are you and why? And can you move through it? And then what do you want and can you program it into yourself? So I heard, there was someone that said to me years ago, I don't have a shy bone in my body. And I looked at her and I was like, I love that. I was like, I've been called shy since I was a kid. I can flip either way. I could be super shy or I can be really extroverted. It depends on how I feel in the moment. And I've been slowly dissolving that shy part of myself. I accept her. It's fine. It's just like, it's not a behavior I like. So when it comes up in me, I actively try to shift into the more bold side of me in one way or another to cultivate it out of me. And I actually thought about this last week. I was like, so this might be happening for you guys too. I was like, wow, I think I've removed most of my shy tendencies. And there's nothing wrong with being shy. Like if you like being that version of yourself, I don't like that version of myself. So I've been training her out. So I'm like, I want to command more attention. I want to have spotlight on me and feel comfortable with that, which is very different than how I was raised. I am very like when I was very young, whatever, we won't go into specifics, but I liked a lot of attention. But I was raised the opposite. Like I was raised like, no, you are not meant to be center stage. Like you can support the spotlight, but you're not the spotlight. When really, I'm the fucking spotlight. So that's something I had to nurture out of myself that already existed, but I was trained in a different way. Anyway, all of that to say, observe your relationships, observe your social contracts, start to think about how you perceive others, how you perceive yourself in communication, whether or not you are blending in, how you are standing out, how you are codependent, because everybody is. to one degree or another. So start trying to work that out. If you are new to codependency, you can check out Codependency No More by Melody Beattie. That book I read, I don't know, like 3 or 4 times a year. There's also Coda. There's some recovery programs. I did Al-Anon for a little bit. That helps me through some of my codependency patterns. What else could we do on codependency? Not Nice is a book by, what's his name? Gaziz Azipora, maybe? Something like that. Mark Manson's book. Oh my gosh, what's that one called? It has the word fuck in the title. Look up Mark Manson. I don't remember. That one was good too. Anyway, check out some books about speaking your mind, speaking your truth, not people pleasing, not trying to be so nice, not making yourself small to fit into the room, but allowing yourself to stand out and allowing people to have the reactions that they do, whatever they are, for they are truly not your responsibility. That's what I've got for you guys. Let me check in just briefly with the Akashic Records if there are any parting things I need to say that would be helpful for you this week leading up to the eclipse. I hate to say this, but this is what they're saying to me. They literally just said the eclipse is going to be a doozy. Start preparing yourself now. I don't want to scare these guys by any means, so you better give me some like TLDR. Okay. It's shaking up the core foundation of your existing relationships. So if there are cracks in the foundation of your relationships, it's going to become very, very obvious. It also will strengthen the relationships that you have that are solid on solid ground. They're showing me those relationships being reinforced energetically and emotionally, like bonded. The ones that have cracked foundations are going to become very, very obvious. And you're going to need to find ways to handle them in a healthy way, resetting your social contracts, telling people how they can treat you, how they won't treat you. I said to somebody recently, this is not uncommon for me, but I was like, if you want to continue to be in my life, you're going to have to reflect on these following things, because I cannot allow that sort of disrespectful behavior in or around my life. You might need to say some things like that. I always give people time and space to figure their shit out. I don't make them do it immediately. I also don't make myself meet them immediately. So this is just kind of how I navigate relationships. So with this last one, I'm just like, you can't treat me that way. Like that social contract. Okay, you may have treated me like that in the past, but I just caught up to it. And now that I can see what it is, I've grown up in this moment. And now that I'm staring at it, I'm telling you that that is no longer okay. And if you want to continue to have a relationship with me, you're going to have to inspect that pattern, and you're going to have to find a way to respect me in a way that I find to be harmonious and appropriate, and take it whatever amount of time, what have you, like, but know that this is rocky and I'm not available for it. And something does need to change if you want to continue to have me in your life. That is what I would call like a new social contract. So something that does have cracks in the foundation will look something like that, where you're either disrespected or all of a sudden you realize that you've actually been disrespected the whole time, or maybe there are good things in the relationship and there is some love, but there's a lot of bullshit too. And that needs to be renegotiated. In the process of renegotiation, it's important to remember that you are not here to change or control people into any level of submission or doing what you want. So when you set a boundary, you have to also acknowledge and hold space for the boundary of yourself that those people may choose to never have a relationship with you again. That they may choose not to change, and that the consequence of that is that they don't get access to you. Your energy is sacred. Your energy is a privilege. And if they can't meet you with that level of respect, they no longer get access to your energy. Now, on the other side of that codependency, if it is codependent, is you have to set the boundary with yourself. Am I willing to walk away from this, or am I going to try to bend myself and become small to keep these people in my life that have literally shown me they cannot respect me in the ways that I need as an adult, in the ways that my inner child needs to feel safe in this relationship, to feel loved and to feel loved, to feel loved. Loved not from a wounded place. There are two types of love. There's love from wounding, from the shadow, and there's love, there's divine love, which is just unconditional love. Love that comes with respect. I would say, I'm starting to realize people don't think love and respect are synonymous. For me, they are. If you disrespect me, like, I'm like, you don't love me, like, get out of here. I respect the people that I love. Like, it's just like, because that's what it is to love not from a wounded place. It's loving from an unconditional place. It comes with respect. So anyway, as you're setting these boundaries, if you are setting these boundaries, which they're telling me that you will be, just one way or another. God, we have so many relationships in our lives, like, you know, it may not be a romantic partner for you. Maybe somebody at your work or what have you, or a family member. You have to hold space, not trying to manipulate or control the other person by any means to make them do something to then stay in your life, because now you're becoming the abusive person in the party. When we tell people they need to respect us or they need to reflect on things in order to be in our life, we're also holding the space for ourselves to say they could choose not to reflect on those things. They could choose not to make those changes, and they could choose not to be in my life. Is that okay? Can I maintain that space of health in releasing and letting go of that attachment? Or am I going to try to manipulate, hurt, and change that person, which then is to contort all of the energy to disrespect them? Real love is I don't, like, my interpretation of real love is loving in a very open-handed way. Like, it's like, because if you're making someone stay in your life and they have to change to stay in your life, that's no longer love, that just turned into abuse. So if you love someone, you'll allow them their process, which may mean that they may not be around you. That's how I see these things. That's my channel and how I've worked through it, what I find to be healthy. But take what you love, leave the rest, take what resonates. Okay, Akashic Records, is there anything else you want to say on that? Specifically on this eclipse, actually. Coming up. And maybe I'll do another video on the eclipse as well. Can you tell what was going to be a doozy about this? Okay, so the part that's going to be challenging for you guys is that your awareness is being opened up, where you're going to start seeing just how much is not working for you, with you, in relationship with many different humans. And it's gonna, they're telling me it's gonna feel like all of a sudden that, like, the can of worms has been opened. The example they're giving me, for those of you that have maybe recently exited long-term relationships, it's like when you're with someone for so long, it's like so great, you just kind of, I don't know, you just get along, whatever. And then, like, right before you break up and right after, you realize, like, oh my God, what the F was I dealing with in that relationship? Was that happening the whole fucking relationship? And you start docking a little list. You're like, oh my God, how much was I not paying attention to? How long were you treating me that way? Like, so it's like all of a sudden a lot of things coming into your mind, they were always existing the whole time. It's just that they were running in your subconscious autopilot. And we are in Libra season, paired with a Libra South node, and a Libra eclipse means it's shaking up all the energy around your relationships. Which means you're going to start seeing what's not working so that you can start making some conscious behavioral changes and requesting new changes with the people in your environments. Again, with the respect, knowing that they could choose to not make those changes, and that you are certainly not going to force them and manipulate them into doing so. You're going to allow them to have their process, which might mean that they will not be in your life, or you need to replace them, and that needs to be okay as well. Also, we found the cards, you guys. I had the fairies find them. If you want to get in on the Sacred Prayers deck when I go to launch this, I don't know when it's going to be yet. That link is down below. It's on my website, IMMELINA.com, which will be changing shortly because Emelina is now going by Stormy. But anyway, go to the site and you can sign up. Okay, I pray to bless my success. This is going to be very, very successful. You are rewriting your social contracts energetically into respect, into love, into self-respect, really, into self-love, which is how like you allow people to treat you based on how you allow them to treat you. I pray for divine intervention. Ask for the divine to intervene on behalf of all your relationships to show you what you need to see in a way that you can handle it. And I pray to see 3 physical signs today that I will know and understand. If you are wondering about a specific person or persons, ask the divine to make it very, very clear for you with signs to show you what to do next, to show you their intentions, what's working, what's not. I give people chances, like, because I can read so much in someone's psyche based on how they treat me. It's like, you know, a lot of stuff is running in the shadow, and I try to give a certain amount of benefit of the doubt where I'm like, you know what, that might be an undercurrent of their shadow that they're not aware of. Let me make them aware of it and then see what they do with that information. And then if they continue to F this to holy hell, well, now I need to let you go. And I generally tell people, and they know, like, people know what to expect from me. Anyway, I pray to see clearly my value and knowing of the subtle asks and dynamics of every exchange. This is the perfect card to come up right now. Also, it got a little wet. I don't know if I cried on it or if I dripped water on it. So we're gonna go into that significance as well. So it's like teary-eyed. It's like we assume people assume the best for us. And a lot of times in relationships we have blinders on and we're only choosing to see what we want to see based on our perception bias. I pray to see clearly my value. There are many different aspects to this specific prayer. I pray to see clearly my value is to know you. What are you dealing with in yourself? What is your value? What is your side of the street? And I pray to see the knowing of the subtle asks or dynamics of every exchange. So whenever we're dealing with or handling or exchanging with other humans, there are always direct asks. There's a direct conscious exchange of energy. And there's always an indirect, unconscious, subtle, subcurrent exchange of energy. I wrote this prayer card because I asked my guides to bring my attention to the subtle asks, the subtle exchanges of energy, so that I would know what I was agreeing to in every energy dynamic with other humans, so that I was never doing something I didn't mean to do or that I wouldn't agree to consciously, which used to happen to me all the time. So I pray to see clearly my value, because that's your core of who you are, and the knowing of the subtle asks and dynamics of every exchange with all of those around me. Because if you know what the subtle energies are, then you can choose to engage or disengage based on the subtle asks. So I don't have an example. Someone might ask you for something in a direct way, and they're actually asking you for something very different. So to go on the example from earlier in this stream with these men I was dealing with, somebody might ask me out for coffee, but subtly what they're asking me for is a tremendous amount of sexual energy. They're asking me to feed them sexually. And I was like, I hear that subtly, and my answer is no. So I'm about to rearrange this whole thing. So pay attention to the subtle asks. People, and they do this a lot in their subconscious, but a lot of people are conscious about it and they don't want to say it because they're hoping that you just won't notice and you'll give it to them anyway. It's subtle manipulative behavior, and there are many different ways to manipulate. Most people think of manipulation as forceful, but I find that the most manipulative people are the people that are nice, fake sweet, because they're trying to make you do something out of feeling bad later. It's weird. Anyway, so just chew on that, play with that. I'm gonna pull a couple more cards this week. listen to your divine guidance too. Like there will be divine guidance. There will be this almost like an overlay of hearing of psychic abilities that are going to be coming through for you guys. It's going to tell you exactly what to do in each of these situations. It might be a feeling through your body. Like you're just going to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. And it might not be popular. And you got to get over that part where it's like, it might not be popular and do it anyway. So that you can build the muscle of training yourself into when spirit says jump, you say how high. I said that in another video, I think last week, but really what it is when spirit says jump, you just jump. I remember that video, I was like, when spirit says jump, you say how high. And then sometimes we're like, what, when, why, ah. And it's like, actually don't even say how high. Even that's fucking retarded. Excuse my language. It's like, can we not say retarded anymore? Is that like such a 90s phrase? It's like, when spirit says jump, just jump. Like, and that is built through practice of that muscle. The better you get at it, the easier your relationships will be, specifically between you and God and spirit and your self-trust, so that spirit can run on your relationships. And, oh my gosh, perfect ending, thank you. I pray for new, happy, vibrant soulmate relationships. God bless that soul family, bring in your soul family. You know, something I went through this year, you guys might be going through this as well. You know, we typically think of soul family as being the family outside of the human family. It's like your chosen family. I changed soul families this year. It was a little traumatic for me. But even with soul families, it's like a soul family, just like a nuclear family unit at the human level. And my soul family, as much as we like vibed together, I was like, actually, we don't really get along and I don't really like you guys. Like, can we be done? Like, I think I'm the black sheep here. So I have since switched soul families. So I pray for new, happy, vibrant soulmate relationships. Okay. Soulmate friendships. Maybe even soulmates, like life partner soulmates. Bring in all the soulmates. When you lose people, you gain new people. It's almost like a one-to-one. Sometimes it might just take an extra minute. Like, I feel like myself and a lot of people I know right now are in between cycles. Like we're in the middle of the transition before all the new relationships come in, because spirit usually before a big transition will make you ditch all the previous relationships, because they are all related to your previous persona, your previous identity. So if you keep the relationships, you're also keeping that identity of yourself that likely is not of high service to you. Literally, I pray to release previous ways of thinking that are holding me back. And I pray to be made. And in the process, I pray for infinite protection. And I pray to trust in faith, not in fear. And I pray for immediate, consistent inspiration. Oh, this is so freaking good. I pray to let go of any unhealthy attachments, to codependency, to addiction, addiction to toxicity, addiction to fake love. Okay. That's what I got. Thank you for joining me, you guys. I'm going to skim through the comments. If you want to join me in the ceremony tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to record it to get you guys a recording. But do your best to show up live. I actually would love to see all of your faces. It's part of why I did this one, free/donation based, is that I actually want to meet a lot of you guys that I haven't met yet. So it's going to be on Zoom. I will leave some room at the very end for a Q&A. It's tomorrow morning at 10:30 Pacific time. You can sign up using the link IMMELINA.com/fall equinox. The link is in the description below. I've got some donation links below as well. I think I might have mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. What else? Summer Quantum Breakthrough. Ask me about that. You guys, it's been a week. It's been a good week, but I made a huge identity shift yesterday. I didn't realize I did it until after. I like to use photo shoots as a way for me to embrace a new identity pattern, so that I can see myself through someone else's lens and camera. And the photos are freaking gorgeous. They're freaking glossy. I can't wait to start sharing them. I gotta wait for all these edits to get back for my last 3 shoots. I'm excited. but it made such a shift in my personality. Like I really occupied that state that I'm actually grieving right now. The loss of like my previous identity. Not to mention also I changed my name this week. Sometimes I forget the things that I do. This is what I was saying in that video. I was like, next week I'll probably be crying about this. Yes, it's already happening. The grieving process is here. All right, you guys, I'm just gonna read through the comments. I am very human. I'm very human. Rainy, your youngest daughter's a Libra. Is it? Oh my gosh. I'll explain Libras to a T. We are so fun. So saucy. Don't try to win an argument with a Libra. We won't tell you you're wrong a lot of the times. We'll just sit there and calculate. We're very calculative, analytical, but we're quiet about it. You ever look at a Libra, you're like, you think they're dumb, like, and we're just like, no, we've just calculated all your next moves. I just know exactly what's gonna happen. And then I like want to watch because I want to see what's gonna happen. I want to see if I'm right. Oh, I am right. They call Libras. We're either the judges or the lawyers. Cosmically, it's like, don't get into an argument with a Libra. You will not win. We always have last word. Always. Okay. Sorry. Let me get excited about my astrology signs. Re-exploring how men should deal with feminine energy. Yeah, I'm gonna, Dylan, I'm gonna be doing so much teaching on this. I think God has selected me to teach on it as well. I feel like I'm teaching men and women. I'm teaching women about how to identify the traits of men that are not treating them well and how to set those standards and walk away and keep their standards high so they can be safe. And then I feel like I'm also teaching men, I'm very conscious about teaching men how to have sacred sexuality, how to treat their women with respect. Because a lot of men just don't know. It's not like they're mean. Men are literally conditioned in society to treat women with disrespect on purpose to keep them like under their boot in society. It's actually really fucked up, but it's the world we live in, unfortunately. Rainy, she will hang up that phone quick. Yeah, we do that. Oh man. Dylan, Leo, Sun, Scorpio, Rising, Virgo, Moon. I felt special ops war energy the last week. Yeah, it really has been because I feel like I've been under fire and I am a lot just because of the work that I do, but it's been a lot. Hi, Daniel. It has been kind of war-based energy, actually. I'm learning how to set those boundaries. Wonderful. Spirit said jump, I'm doing freaking jumping jacks. Yes. That's what I think, because the phrase is always like jump how high. And it's like, when I really thought about it after I'd said that last week, I was like, that's not what it is. When Spirit says jump, you jump. And the hesitation is like, Spirit's testing us constantly on like, how long does it take you to actually take the action from when Spirit delivers it to you? And that's your container of what you can handle. And then Spirit will temper your awareness, will temper the amount of understanding you're given to what you can handle. So if you can, when Spirit says jump, jump. When Spirit gives you inspired insight and you take action rather immediately, then Spirit gives you more insight. Spirit goes, oh, she can handle more. Okay, here's more. Okay, here's more. It's kind of like a bank account. Oh, you can handle that amount of money well? Well, here's more money in your bank account. Here's more spiritual money. Here's more insight. Here's more knowledge. Here's more boundaries. The process never stops. You will never get tired of setting boundaries. It's funny because when you talk to people that are just starting their spiritual awakening journey, they're accustomed to the nuclear family unit being like really solid. And then when they have to like discard of someone or let go of a relationship, it's like really tumultuous. And they're like, oh my God, but I've known these people my whole life. Then you get through the spiritual awakening process and you just go, whatever, at some point I'm going to lose everyone. Because the more that you change, the more that you embrace your new identity, again and again and again and again, depending on your role on the planet, depending on what you've moved through, depending on your spiritual awareness and what your spiritual role or mission is, I have had to remove everyone and replace them in different ways. I'm like, do I have anyone? Sometimes we'll get like for me, I don't know, I've got a couple of core people that have been there throughout my life, but like in waves, but which is nice. Anyway, so my point my point being, as you move through the spiritual awakening journey, I just always find it so interesting where people are like, oh my God, I'm afraid to let go of this relationship. And I'm like, oh, really? I think I've let go of like 50. like it's not going to stop. Because we're always changing. You have to be okay with, you know why I enjoy the process of letting go as opposed to not, is because when you let go, like I see that as real love. If you love someone, you'll let them go and allow them to change on their time without forcing them to be in your life or forcing them to be what you need. I think that that's what love is for me. I allow people their process, even if it's without me, even if it means I don't get access to them. I allow myself that process as well under the same terms and conditions. And then I also allow things to move and flow. You know, a lot of endings aren't permanent per se. It's just like renegotiating when things come back together, if that's a thing. And I don't have to worry about it really, because spirit manages my relationships for me. So people only come back when they're really supposed to. And sometimes they are. Like one of my besties, we didn't talk for 10 years. She's known me since I was 17. Was it 10? It was about 10 years. Essentially the entire amount of time I was in my relationship. And then when we synced back up, it was like nonstop. Like she is my bestie. Like it's just, so sometimes, you know, it's like when your lessons are ready to come back together, you've got more to learn together, you'll come back together. And I trust that process. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's whatever. Okay, I'm running almost to an hour and a half. It is a time for me to go. Thank you for being here with me, my friends. I do not know why I'm using this accent, but we are. Okay, that's what I got. Lots of love. Enjoy the week. Thank you for following me with my rant and my little, I feel like a leprechaun or a fairy. I've got my green eyeshadow and my butterfly nails. Alrighty, you guys, enjoy your week, enjoy your day. I hope to see you in the fall equinox ceremony with me tomorrow morning, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.